Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Becoming Anchored podcast. My name is Laura Deneen, and I am your host for today's episode. We really are about two things on the show. So we love to share about some of our journeys in the context of mental health, some of the pain and suffering that we have walked through over the years. And then I also have the amazing privilege of sitting with clients, as does Lauren, on a daily basis. And we truly cherish that work. And so on this show, you will find episodes with myself and Lauren, some in which we interview guests across the country. And so welcome if you're new to the show. Quick disclaimer, this is not meant to be your therapy. We highly encourage you to seek out therapy in a state that is local to you. If you're in Tennessee, we would love to see you. So welcome. Today, I wanted to share about a new direction for the Becoming Anchored brand. And so we are actually pivoting towards a more body image focused support. So really, as this brand has evolved, this has been a time in my life when I've really wanted to build just another type of business in which I'm able to share some of the knowledge that I have gleaned over the years in the therapy room. And so my heart and vision behind Becoming Anchored has been really just providing resources and products that instill the fundamental belief of hope. Hope is something that has marked such a important part of my story, and it's such an important, I think, principle that is so oftentimes missed in our world, right? Because there is so much pain and suffering. And so really Becoming Anchored is all about instilling hope and cultivating a sense of hope. And in the past year or so, I've really been dreaming about supporting you in your relationship with your body in a different way. And so we will absolutely still have the friendship course and the perfectionism course accessible to you all. So definitely check those out if you are wanting more support in those areas. And then moving forward on the podcast, we're going to be really talking a little bit more specifically about body image and about your relationship with your body and all that entails. We actually have a new body image card deck that is available for purchase on the Becoming Anchored site. So that includes 61 interventions, so essentially different activities that we might use in the therapy space. And I've created those for you all, along with an affirmation on each card. And so those are definitely things that you can use on your own time. It's very much self-paced. And there are definitely instructions for how to use those cards. And then we also actually have an entire new body image program available for purchase as well. There's 3 free resources. So those include 2 free masterclasses that are accessible to you on the Becoming Anchored site. So the first masterclass, I share what even is body image. So when we use this term body image, it can be such an overwhelming term for a lot of folks. And I think this actually leads people to not getting the support that they need around their body, or maybe they feel overwhelmed and they don't know where or how or why or when to start. And so in that masterclass, I provide my thoughts on what body image is. And then the second masterclass is really a deep diver into what is healthy body image and all the different pieces that go into the creation of our relationship with our body. And then the full program includes those 2 master classes along with 12 additional mini courses on various topics. You can either buy those mini courses individually or for a discount for the full program. Really, my heart behind this entire body image program is to really provide an accessible way for people to work on their relationship with their body. So if you're listening today, perhaps you have talked about body image with your therapist or with your friends, and you maybe feel stuck, and this body image program might be a wonderful additional resource for you. There are no promises, right? In healing body image, we can do this work, and it takes a lot of intention and effort and time. And so these resources are really meant to be additional resources to the work that you may already be doing around your relationship with your body. And like I mentioned, right, there are no promises in this course. My hope is that you develop a relationship with your body that is marked by tenderness and ease and kindness and compassion. But that takes time to get there. And so the information in the body image program is really meant to be a launching pad of various interventions that I use with my clients and that I found helpful in healing my own relationship with my body years ago when I first started doing that work in my own therapy. And so all of this to say, I'm super excited about this new chapter for Becoming Anchored. I really feel that this is a great next step for us. I think a lot of people feel stuck in their relationship with their body. A lot of people have a complex relationship with their body. And so this course, the cards, were really intentional, and they're meant to be used at your own pace. They're meant to be a gentle invitation for you to dive into working on your body image. And so, as we move through this episode today, I really just want to share what body image is. And then in future episodes, we're going to be breaking down more of the nuances of body image. There's so many different things that go into how we experience our bodies. And so, like I said, body image is complex. It doesn't just happen overnight. Typically, we have many experiences throughout our childhood and adolescence and even early adulthood that mold us and shape us and that really impact how we see our bodies. A lot of clients of mine that I've worked through with over the years do have some sort of trauma in their background or a trauma history that has impacted their relationship with their body. There can be co-occurring mental health diagnoses that impact our relationships with our bodies. There can be various temperament traits that can impact our relationship with our bodies. Diet culture, right? So the world that we live in and the society that we live in that attaches morality to food, that can impact our relationship with our bodies. So our relationship with our bodies is something that is complex, and it doesn't just happen overnight. And so healing is complex as well. And so I want you to hold that in mind if you are wanting to work on your relationship with your body, is remembering that body image is complex and healing is complex as well. And no intervention alone is going to help you heal, meaning that it is going to most likely be an accumulation of many different interventions over time that are going to support you in moving towards peace with your body. So body image is really made up of 4 components. So I talk a little bit more about this in depth in that free masterclass that I alluded to, but body image has 4 different parts. So the first part is really that cognitive part. So what I think about my body. And oftentimes what can happen is when clients come to me, they are attributing too much value to their thoughts, number one, and then their thoughts are also very distressing to them, right? So they have thoughts that are marked by critical language, by judgmental language, by language that is pretty harsh towards their bodies. And then we've got the perceptive piece around body image. So that is what I see when I look in the mirror. Now, this can be influenced by so many different things, including diet culture. It can be influenced by perhaps a critical caregiver who spoke harshly to you growing up, and what you see in the mirror is greatly influenced by their voice in your head. So there's all sorts of things that can impact what we see in the mirror. And then there's the affective state. So those are our physical sensations, what my experience of my body is. So remember that our emotions show up in our bodies before we cognitively know what we are feeling. And so this is where body image is complex, because many people have an emotional response to their cognitions or to the perception, so what they see in the mirror. And then the 4th piece is going to be that behavioral piece. So that is what I do in response to the first 3 pieces. And so a lot of times what can happen is people will get stuck in these unhealthy patterns around their bodies, and that actually is what is making their body image worse and their relationship with their body worse. And so in my therapy practice, what we were doing is we're really raising awareness and insight around those four pieces of body image, along with the complexity of body image, and really giving clients an opportunity to investigate with curiosity what may have led up historically to their present day experience of their bodies. And so this is that trauma-informed perspective around body image healing, right? So our past shapes us, and oftentimes what can happen, especially if you have a trauma history, is you are living more out of the past versus in the present moment. And so that can absolutely occur with your experiences with your body. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what body image is. I also wanted to share about the complexity of all the moving pieces that contribute to the way that we experience our bodies. And then I also wanted to provide you with hope as we close. So I think what can happen is, because of the busyness of our lives and the culture we live in and our commitments, and perhaps you are caring for children or other loved ones, it can really interfere with you being able to do this work. And I'm here to tell you that you are so deserving of starting to do the work to shift your relationship with your body. Think about it, right? We are always with our bodies. And so even as I'm sitting here right now, I'm noticing that I'm using my hands a lot. So I do that in therapy and on this podcast as well. But I'm noticing, okay, my tummy is feeling satisfied. I had a really yummy yogurt parfait for breakfast with granola and peanut butter and honey and all the things and fruit. So I'm feeling satisfied. I'm noticing that I am talking with my hands. I tend to be pretty expressive in that way. I am feeling thankful for the air conditioning, right? Because it's very muggy and hot as I'm recording this podcast today. So all of these things I'm aware of as I'm talking today. I was also aware of some anxiety when I started this episode, right? There was like a churning in my chest around talking to you all about this pivot for the Becoming Anchored program. And so I'm aware of this. And then at the same time, I'm able to have compassion for the fact that this feels important to me. And that's why maybe I notice some of the churning in my chest, is because I really feel passionate about this topic, and I want you to experience a more peaceful relationship with your body. And so I am so thankful to have you on this show. I know Lauren is as well, and she will be joining me for some more episodes along the nuances of healing some of those body image concerns. And I'm here to tell you that there's another way. You don't always have to be in conflict with your body. You don't always have to be experiencing high distress around the way that you experience your body. And so I'm here to tell you that there is another way, and I will hold hope for that path for you if you are struggling to access that for yourself. And so welcome to the Becoming Anchored podcast. I am so glad you're here. Just as homework today, I really want you to be intentional about noticing how you would describe your relationship with your body. Now, when we notice, we can tend to stack on or pile on additional shame or judgment. So I invite you to notice your relationship with your body without criticism or judgment, or if you do notice those things, to gently set them to the side. So that's your homework from today, and just know that I'm rooting for you, and we're so glad to have you with us. Take good care.